and it's from Chapter 1. Jack Sparrow, first mate of the East India Trading Company merchant vessel Fair Wind, now you know this is not our Jack because he's working for the EITC, stood on the quarterdeck, glaring down at most of his hastily assembled crew. Beside him rested a large cask. It sloshed faintly as the brig glided over the topaz waters of the Caribbean Sea, 3 days out from Port Royal, Jamaica. Jack drummed his fingers on the top of the half-empty cask. "This rum," he said, raising his voice so he could be heard over the creakings of the sails, slap of the sea, and the rush of the wind, "is half gone. Why is the rum gone?" The weather-beaten faces that had been regarding him quizzically suddenly vanished as each crewman looked down, twisting his cap and hands scored by years of hard, dangerous work at sea. The men shuffled their feet on the holystone planks of the Fair Wind's weather deck. No one ventured a reply. Jack hadn't really expected any of the culprits to confess, and peaching on a mate was regarded as lowest of the low among the men, so the lack of a reply didn't surprise him. He actually sympathized with the culprits. After all, the stolen substance was rum. Jack liked rum as well as any man. Well, to be truthful, better than most. But this rum was not, technically speaking, rum. It was cargo. He let his temper, until now held in check, rise. "I will tell you why the rum is gone," Jack roared. He thumped the top of the container. "This half-empty cask, which, as of last night, was full of rum bound for England, rum entrusted to this vessel to be carried in her hold until we reach our destination, rum intended to be sold to the taverns and cellars of England to slake English thirsts, is gone because," he paused for effect, "several members of this crew that stands before this same crew of misbegotten, scurvy sea dogs crept down into the hold and drank it." He slapped his hand against the side of the cask, where one of the staves had been pried out of alignment with the others, leaving a long, dark stain of spilled rum down the side of the container. Jack turned to the man standing beside him. Robbie Green was 5 years younger than Jack himself, which made him barely 20. He was a slender but whipcord strong youth with a ready smile and a mop of golden curls that he kept tied back with a black ribbon. Green, as second mate aboard Fair Wind, was responsible for the ship's cargo. "Mr. Green," Jack said, "what, in your professional opinion, is the precise word that should be applied to the action of starting this cask and subsequently drinking half of it, of wantonly guzzling our cargo?" Whoever had gotten to the rum had managed to bypass the locks on the entrances leading down to the hold. They'd started the cask, siphoned off the contents, drunk their fill, then retied the lashings binding the cargo, no doubt hoping that the damage would be attributed to the rolling of the ship. Jack had barely relieved third mate Edward Tomlin when Robbie had appeared to show him the half-emptied cask. Devil take it, Jack had thought, eyeing the damage, and it had to happen on my watch. This was his and Robbie's first voyage aboard Fair Wind, and this incident was the first real challenge to Jack's authority as first mate of this vessel. When he first reported for duty, minutes before sunrise, Jack had been looking forward to it. Moments before sunrise, that is. Jack had been looking forward to an uneventful watch. They'd taken on fresh provisions with their cargo, and this morning the cook had served him fresh fruit with his porridge. Savoring the last bite of pineapple, Jack had ambled onto the weather deck, pleased to see that the good weather was holding. The brig was reaching across the wind with all plain sail set. There was nothing better than the beauty of the early morning Caribbean on a vessel that was making good time. And then some of these misbegotten louts had to go and guzzle the EITC's rum, Jack thought disgustedly as he waited for the second mate's response. Green glanced at the crew, swallowed, but replied stoutly, "I'd call that stealing, Mr. Sparrow." "Aye, stealing," Jack repeated. "The very word I had in mind, Mr. Green. Drinking our cargo constitutes theft! Theft!" He turned back to the crew, who were mumbling and shuffling, scarcely daring to glance at one another. "And it is my unfortunate duty to discover the thief, or in this case, thieves."